George. It is an illustrious name with a rich history. We owe a debt of gratitude to many famous Georges for some of the things we value most, from America itself all the way to Tatooine. George Washington, George Clooney, George Burns, George Jones, George Michael, George Clinton. George Bush, George Bush, George Bush, George Steinbrenner, George Costanza.
I'm the opposite of every guy you've ever met.
King George, King George, King George, King George, King George, and King George. George Lucas, George Stephanopoulos, George Stroumboulopoulos, George Takei, Babe Ruth, or should we say George Herman Babe Ruth, George Brett, George C. Scott, George Foreman, George Patton, George Orwell.
You see, I have money and property.
And finally, Curious George.